Hello, Sparrows. Hi, Sparrows. Good evening to you. I am Valerie Miller of TVM, the Valerie Miller Double Fold. This very moment, you have opportunity to change. And of course, it's Matters of the Heart Monday, right? Matters of the Heart Monday. And of course, every single week, we come from the standpoint of how I became fabulous and a lady all the time, right? That's where this platform is coming from. Hi, Sheldon. Welcome into the room. However, tonight we're going to be talking about standards and preferences. Yeah. Isn't that something? Have you ever stopped to think about it? Do you prefer your standards or your preferences? Just a little something to think about, Sheldon, all right? I constantly think about that, and you have to weigh your options. I know today I was doing a little scrolling through feeds and saw this question that popped up. Tony Gaskins has a video out on it. I haven't even taken a look at it yet. However, when I saw the title, I said, you know what, that is seriously juicy. And I had to contemplate if I was going to come on tonight or not, because I'm kind of winding out the year and started with all new shows in 2020, right? And of course, next week is going to be the 1-year anniversary show for Matters of the Heart. As of December 3rd was the 1-year mark. So with that being said, why not just pop on just for a little while and have the conversation about standards and preferences, right? And you know, some people may, and then there are some who may not get the gist of it. So I just went ahead, took the liberty. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the definition of this. I'm going to just go ahead and make it that technical, right? Put it out there, make sure it's clear as in what the differences are. And we know it's pretty much likes and wants. But when you put it in the terms of dictionary, it says a preference is a liking for one alternative over the other, and the standard is a level of quality. Liking may initially get over attention. It may get, basically it's going to get our attention first. And once we get it as the attention, is it going to hold it? Is it enough quality to maintain the liking? Most times it isn't. It isn't. We can like what we like. There's nothing wrong with likes. However, when we have a pure, sincere preference, that's just what it is. But which is going to be greater for you? The preference or the standard? If you're looking for something long term, that's going to be the goal. Hi, Michelle. Welcome into the room. That's going to be the main thing. And you shouldn't be confusing the two. Don't confuse the two at all, because this is your life. It's your life. So what is going to be the best thing for you? I'll give you a great example. One that I pretty much wrote about. I wrote about that in here in a sense. And the person I'm speaking on is Mr. Right Now, right? Mr. Right Now is a great person. We met, became great friends. One thing lead to another. From day one, I knew he wouldn't be the type. He wouldn't be someone that I'd bring home. He wouldn't be someone that I'd want my friends or family to meet, which means, why even bother? Why even go there? But then the name, Mr. Right Now. He was fun for Right Now. However, Right Now turned into on and off again for 7 years. On and off for 7 years. Time you can't get back. So that's why I'm bringing this topic to you tonight. Be mindful of your time, how you spend it. Is it worthy of spending time with someone that's pretty much just somebody you like for right now, or that thing that you have an attraction to? They caught your attention for right now. However, is there enough substance to them? Is there enough quality to them to maintain your interest for the long period of time, the long haul? If you're looking to get married, are they the ideal person to marry? this is a seed I want to plant for thought this evening, Sparrows. Preferences are standards. What is it in your life? What is it? Are you married? Are you single? Are you divorced? Are you in a situationship? What is the situation as far as this question that I'm prompting you tonight, Sparrows? What is it? Do you prefer? Tony Gaskins, like I said, he put out a video. I cannot wait to go back and watch it because I feel like he is some kind of juicy. He's juicy, he's so direct, and he gives like the best advice, right? So with that, I'm going to go back later on. I'm going to watch it. But when it popped up in my feed today that this is a topic that he had done a video on, I said, oh my gosh, that is a great one. So now I'm bringing it to you tonight, and I'll catch him on the back end. However, he does have a quote that reads, don't confuse standards with preferences. Standards are things you need in a partner. Preferences are things you want in a partner. Sometimes what you want isn't what you need. Recognize when that's the case. OMG. You're happily single, Luana? Honey, there is a stage for all of us. That's why I'm prompting this question. In the event you decide that you no longer want to be on the single side of life, this is something that we have to ask ourselves, especially if you're over 35, 40. This is a question that needs to be asked. I'm so serious. You don't want to have Mr. or Miss right nows in your life. That's not what you want. It's never something that you want. Why can't you have both? Luana, let me tell you why that wouldn't be the greatest idea to have both. I tried it. It didn't work. It did not work. I got caught up and fell in love with Mr. Right Now. Like I said, it was on and off again for 7 years. I knew he wasn't someone I wanted to take home. That was time waste. Nope, I take it back. It wasn't time wasted. Time is never wasted. It was a block of time that I deem now as valuable lessons of things not to do again. I wouldn't recommend both. No, because someone that you have, just around in the meantime, it becomes way too much. It becomes way too much. Too much that you may or may not want to deal with. And that's where complications come in. That's where messy comes in. That's where a whole lot of control comes in. A whole lot of things that you may not want for your life. Hi, Dave Anderson. Welcome in. So that's just me. And feeling like I should share that tidbit of information with you. I do not regret the decision that I made because it was what I was capable of during that time, where I was in my life. I didn't want anything too serious. That's why it was easy to fall into that space. However, if I had made a different decision to say, you know what, I'm just going to remain by myself and continue to get to know me better, spend more time with myself, do the things I enjoy, more on a positive uphill climb of fabulous, right? Anytime we can better ourselves is always going to be the best choice. It's always the best choice. However, when we start allowing Mr. or Miss Right Nows to enter our lives and say, okay, well, that's okay. I mean, I'll just keep him around until my Boaz Solomon shows up. I'll keep him around to keep me entertained until I'll meet someone I'm sincerely interested in. It's nothing cool about that. I can think back over it now and say, you know what, I should have just let him go when the opportunity presented itself, and I had the realization to know he's not it for me. He has behaviors, he has track records that I'm not willing to accept in my life. However, in the mindset of, he's cool for right now, I went for it. I was like, I'm new to Georgia, I'm getting to know, people. I just don't want to be held down or in anything. I'm just being free. However, it became much more complicated down the road. So all of that to say this, Lawana, honey, I wouldn't recommend it. Because when you are in a situation with someone that's kind of fallen prey to a relationship without you knowing that you're now in a relationship with somebody, it complicates things. And when you are in that type of position and you so happen to meet someone amazing, guess what? You're not available to him because you have that situation going on. Thanks, Dave. You have to bring some juice sometimes. It's all about the juiciness. If we're, of ages that's particular, 40s, 50s, the game, is different. And being where I am now, and even how it's so free to say the game has changed, it's not about a game anymore. If we choose to be single, we're going to be single. If we choose to have a situationship, then make sure that everybody's on the same playing field when it comes to that. Because if one person wants to have something more serious and the other person wants to not, they just want to be a little more casual, those types of situations, not going to be a great fit. Someone is destined to get their heart broken, and that's definitely not the route to take. So how are you going to really determine, especially like now, it's the holiday season, and you're thinking about, wow, it would be nice to have someone, that companion. It would be amazing to have that companion. So how are you going to go and deal with the difference between being lonely? Are you sincerely lonely? Or are you comfortable with being alone during the seasons? You have to weigh the options on that. Because it's another way of falling prey into something that you may not want in your life because of momentary gain. And whenever you have those momentary gains, you're taking yourself off of the choices of options. You're removing yourself from that. Because when you have complication in your life, when you have something that's taken place that's not the greatest or the best look, the person that is available that you may meet and might find of great quality, someone that's a part of your preference or your standard, that's when you go and weigh the differences. What do you sincerely want? That's how it's going to give you the proper direction for your life. Standards are preferences. Welcome to the room, everybody that's dropped in that I haven't called your name out specifically. Welcome in, and thanks for joining me tonight. Don't confuse your standards and your preferences. What do you want? Do me a favor. I know, Lawana, you said you're happily single. What are the statuses of everyone that's in the room right now? Are you in a relationship? Are you single? Are you divorced? What is your current status? Share that with me. I would like to see that, just to give myself an idea, because it's just going to drive the direction of the conversation. A quick drive, because like I said, I wasn't going to come on tonight. I said, I'll just go ahead and put on a replay tonight, because I didn't feel at 100%, but I'm fine. It's just that, doing a lot of things are starting to catch up, so I need to rest a little bit more. So after I saw this title Tony Gaskins had done a video of earlier, I said, oh no, going on tonight, that's a juicy. That's something I need to present to the Sparrows just to see how things are going during this holiday season. I mean, we're around the corner from Christmas, and you know that whole, what do you lonely do? You know, at Christmas. What do you do at Christmas if you're lonely? But are you sincerely lonely, or are you content with being alone? And if you're content with being alone, then you're good. You're good. You don't have to worry about anything or making those phone calls or calling in someone or from the past and those types of things. It's so much of that happening because you can't move forward if you're constantly staying in touch with those from the past. Sometimes it's best to leave the past in the past. It goes back to the preferences, the standards, and the likings and the wants. What do you want? Don't forget why the person is now a part of your past. Don't forget that. We can forgive, definitely do that. However, move forward in your life. It's going to be important that you remember why they are a part of your past. We can forget that sometimes, the truth of that fact. And another reason, that's it's easy to slide back into a situationship. However, when you are in your current status and you're content with it, roll with that and make sure that you're loving yourself enough to understand what your preferences are and what your standards are, and make sure that you're staying in alignment with yourself as to what your greatest need is for your life right now, in the present tense. In the present tense. Wow. Things that you specifically need. Standards. The standards. Do you even know what you need in a relationship? Do you know? Sometimes when I ask clients, I say, okay, what is it that you must have? And this is a different way of looking at it. What are the must-haves in the relationship that you are sincerely yearning for? What is it? Do you know? Could you rattle it off if asked in the heat of moments? If you can, great. And what are your deal breakers? The things that you're not flexible on. So when you know these types of things, then it's easy for you to recognize and not confuse your standards and your preferences. The must needs are the standards. The preferences are just things that we like. I'm just saying. But these are very sincere and authentic questions that warrant answers. They are. Are you in a place in your life where you can answer them? If Mr. Wonderful or Miss Wonderful enters your life right now, are you in that space of receiving them? Are you open to relationships right now? Did you just get out of a situation? Recently divorced? Currently separated? What's your status? I noticed nobody dropped that info in there. Don't be shy. It's just us. Go ahead and share it. For myself, I'm divorced, living single. Divorced, living single. Because I'll never be single again. I'll never be single again because I've been married. I passed the torch on single. Became married. Divorced. And that's where I am. And when I say divorced, living single, which means I am available to date in the event I choose to date. But I can never just have the status now to say, oh, I'm single. No, I have too much of a story in my life right now because of being single, getting married, going through a divorce, which I don't wish on anybody, and dating again. Right. Dating again and being very selective of whom I date now. That's why looking at and observing questions like, what are my standards and what are my preferences, or which is going to be greater in my life, those things are very important. It's vital, actually, in my life. So things that I will post questions on for myself is, of course, something that I'm going to bring into the room as juice for you. Rebecca Jones, Christine Williams, Brenda Richard, Valerie Seymour, hi cuz, welcome to the room. And Kashonda, welcome in. Mazik, Kashonda Mazik. So that is the question that I'm prompting to you tonight. A little seed for thought. Standards or preferences. What is it for you in your life right here, right now, today, this very moment? And if you really hadn't thought about it much, you can always change it. You can always change it. You can change it. Like I said, I had the situation in my life on and off again for 7 years with someone I knew I wouldn't marry. I knew I wouldn't be able to take 100% seriously. And he proved me right. He proved me right. Okay? Just constant behavioral things that I saw from the beginning and had no intention of getting serious with him. I sincerely did not. However, the more time you spend with someone, you get to know them. And not all things are bad, because if they were, I never would have entertained talking with him in the first place. But then you spend more time, you get to know them, then you see all the greatness in them. And that's where the confusion comes in that Tony Gaskins was talking about. Do not get confused. Because when you start spending time with them, you say, oh, and you start looking over things, oh, well, you know, that's not so bad. That's doable. That's not a deal breaker. When in essence, I should have been saying, you know, that's an automatic deal breaker. We can be so forgiving in spaces to where it alters our decision making. And when our decision making is altered, and then we get caught up in situations that put us in places that we wake up one day and realize, oh my gosh, how did I get here? Oh my goodness, I knew from day one he or she was not the right person for me. How did I get here? You know, asking the question, oh my gosh, how? But these are questions that you need to ask yourself on the front end. It doesn't take a lot of time. It could be a conversation. It could be a behavior. It could be something that has taken place that make you do that with them. And when you do that, you really need to ponder where it goes from here. You have to ponder that thought, because if you give it an excuse, and then it's going to happen again. You know, that look like, And you look up and it's been 7 years. Okay? And probably, you know, bypass amazing individuals a million times. Because your vision has now been clouded. You have entered into a space that you were not planning to be in. However, when you say, you know, oh, he's good for right now. She's good for right now. Words of doom. Please don't say that. Or even the word potential. I hear someone say potential now, I cringe. Because either they're going to be someone that you know you can unpack luggage with, and they are someone that can help you unpack yours. You know this. And if there's someone that you have to coerce, or you have to ask questions, why don't you do this? Or I was hoping that you could do that. That's when you start attempting to change individuals. And they may be flexible to even change for you, but they're compromising themselves. In essence, make sure you align yourself with someone who is intentionally aligning themselves with you to avoid putting yourself in a predicament that you're not sincerely going to be happy with in the end. Time does not wait. It doesn't. It moves forward. It doesn't slow down. It doesn't speed up. It's consistent. So if time can be consistent every day in, every day out, consistent, why shouldn't your relationships be consistent? Why shouldn't you be clear about deal breakers? Why shouldn't you be clear about what you are looking for in a partner in your life? Why are you not clear as to what is a standard and what is a preference? Standards must have quality individual. Preferences, I just like that. Ooh, it's something about him. Ooh, it's something about her. Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, he is the most handsome guy in the world. However, he is not the best person in the world for you. So are you going to go for someone who's handsome and you're attracted to, and they have that thing and you just can't shake what it is? However, as an individual, you don't like them so much. Which direction are you going to go in? Which one? Which one? Hi, Deb. Welcome in, cousin. Hi, Tina. Those are the arousal of thought that I want you to have. That's the very point of bringing up this topic tonight. I'm constantly having to remind myself or ask myself these questions. They are important, especially when you are working on yourself. And you have been working on yourself for a long period of time. You are excited about who you are, who you've become, and you know it's going to be someone amazing to enter your life. You're preparing, not so much for the person that's coming into your life, but for yourself. You are really sculpting yourself. You are doing some wonderful things. You see it, everybody else sees it. So make sure that you're in a place to make the best decisions when it comes to meeting someone that you are going to include into your fabulous life. Make sure of that, because you can easily invite someone into your life that isn't the absolute best for you. However, you settle in it for the moment, and then you look up in time, like I said, does not stop. It continues on. And then you look up and you're in a place and you've been there with this person for X amount of time, and then you want to blame yourself. Oh, I wish I had, or I wish I hadn't. But you can't go back in time. However, you can make better decisions in the present. Know what you want. Know what's important and what's going to be important, that this person that enters your life, that they have qualities, not likes. We can want something or someone and get it. So be careful of what you ask for. You can easily get it, him or her. When you get them, that's what you wanted. Then you're sick. You're sick and you don't know what to do about it. Like, oh my gosh. The first thing I'll say, honey, girl, or guy, you asked for this person. You asked for this person. And it's going to be important for you to take your time and make the right decision for your life. That's it, and that is all. That's the juice. I came on tonight to serve you. Standards or preferences, which is going to be the most important in your life. And are you staying true to them? Because we can be tested in the midst of moments. We can be tested. And once tested, are you going to pass it? Or will you fail it? In the event you concede to temptation, because it presents itself so wonderfully, it's not the end of the world. It's just a reminder that those are some things that you still need to work on. The gift in it is you recognized it, right? So that is it, and that is all I have for you tonight. And I'm going to read this quote again from Tony Gaskins, where he said, "Don't confuse standards with preferences. Standards are things you need in a partner. Preferences are things you want in a partner. Sometimes what you want isn't what you need." Guys, when that takes place, or when it's the case, right? We can want something. It's all good looking and shiny and smelling good, and he's glitzy and he's all that. He's probably 5 out of 10 things, you know. And then you say, well, you know, do I really need to have all of this, all of these things? Or, you know, don't forget why you're feeling like you need a certain type of individual in your life, because you've had the experience. And I know I can speak for myself. I've had the experience of dating for quite a while and learning the things that I do enjoy and knowing the things that I do not enjoy. Things that I'm willing to accept in my life, things I am no longer willing to accept in my life. And the moment I start seeing red flags, I'm calling it out. I need some clarification on that. I am calling it out. Do you call it out? Because that's where you have to protect your heart. That's why you have to protect your time and invest it wisely. And when you know all of the things that you are looking forward to having in your life, then it's easy to pass someone by when you start noticing behaviors that are taking place and it doesn't resonate well with you. It doesn't feel good, or you question why he or she is doing those things. The minute you start asking why, you already have the answer. Move on. Let go. Forgive. Keep it going. That is what I will say to you. So on that note, I'm out of here. Get back to your night. And next week, I will be having my anniversary show. So I'll be feeding some information on the timeline throughout the week of how I'm going to go about doing that for matters of the heart. We have hit the 1-year mark as of December 3rd. So I'm so excited about this taking place and going into 2020 and all of the juicy things that's going to be coming about with the show for the next year. So on that note, have a fabulous evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Make it memorable and do something amazing to soar yourself every single day, right? On that note, love without conditions. Always possess a positive attitude and soar in all you do. I love you, mean it. Smooches, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. And ponder the seed for thought, right? Standards or preferences. How is either of those aligning in your life? Make the corrections. Changes are necessary. And walk into some amazing relationships. Okay? Love you, mean it. Smooches.